Welcome back to the Cronecast at the Rising Moon, and this is the Spirit Guide Daily. Hey, for the month of December in 2023, the Spirit Guide Daily will be available on my YouTube channel as of January 2024. It will be moving to a membership or a part of a Patreon. We have the Enchanted Soul Tarot bringing you 3 predictive cards if you've seen the Spirit Guide Daily before. These are daily messages, but they are timeless. It's Monday through Friday. They can help you on your healing journey and to get your best outcomes. Energy and Spirit Oracle is also bringing you a card, and then we have the Forest Fae Inspiration cards doing that as well. Hey guys, as we get going here, by the way, the Enchanted Soul is not one that I recommend. It is gigantic. I do not have particularly small hands. I don't have large hands, but it is a seriously challenging shuffle unless you're a bigger person. And I mean, you need to be bigger. So let's get going with this, but please don't forget to subscribe, hit that thumbs up button. All the good stuff. If you need to find me for a private reading, that is at therisingmoon.com exclusively. That's the only way to book me. My podcast is Logical Magic. Let's get going here. I have the 9 of Swords in reverse. That's where we want the 9 of Swords. Remember, reversals are never bad. That's another thing I'm likely to be teaching through my Patreon is reversals, because not enough people teach them. The 9 of Swords in reverse is letting go of something emotionally, or it can also be putting something to rest. Something is done and over. It can, in fact, be put to rest, because the 9 of Swords in the upright is the card of restlessness. It is the card of bad dreams sometimes. It can be the card of cruelty. It can be compassion in reverse like that, but it is an intellectually chosen form of compassion, meaning that if somebody did you dirty or something, you can kind of look at them and be like, well, they're not particularly healthy. They haven't made the right choices. And that's not to say that you then allow the transgressions against you, but that it informs your ability to let it go. And we have that with the moon in the upright. Mystery, subconscious, secrecy, illusion, fear, phobias, paranoia, and obsession. These are all true, but it's also the card of underlying issues. It's also the card of some confusion, some darker forces. It's a Pisces card as well. Emotions are running high when you get this particular energy. It's also advising you to work with the moon cycles in order to do some release work. If there's something you've been working on, please remember at the full moon we release, at the new moon we work on manifesting. That's another thing that will be on the Patreon, is I will be teaching different forms of moon magic. We have the 5 of Cups in reverse, which is about making the most of a situation after a loss. Now, 2 of the cards that are in reverse here, we only ever want in reverse, so that's good. The 5 of Cups is like after the crying is done, then life gets good again. And aside from you've put on, and this, the other way to read this is all underlying issues have been put to rest. And that you are armed with knowledge going forward as to how to handle them. Particularly in my collective, where I deal with so many people with complex post-traumatic stress disorder and post-traumatic stress disorder and abuse survivors. If you're an abuse survivor, then that also brings you in on that. We have to learn how to recognize the ways in which we may have been damaged and the challenges we will face going forward in our interpersonal relationships, our career, and other areas in order to get our best outcomes. And that's not to say you're broken. It's just that if you have a vulnerability that was caused by somebody else's cruelty, work with it and don't resent it. You didn't do it to yourself. Be kind to it. Be loving. Intellectual capacity for compassion for self and for others is part of what's going on there. Let's check our energy and spirit. Yeah. Attachment. Hey, now I don't read anything of the oracle cards in reverse. I have never found them to hold up their meaning, and I'm just about to contradict that because this sucker came out in reverse. Because this in the upright is a card of longing and desperation. It's reversed there. This is longing and desperation. It came out in reverse. It's about attachments. Hey, on a healing journey, sometimes we lose every prior relationship if we weren't in a healthy energy. And it does look like you're being told to have some compassion for yourself for maybe not having had the best friendships, attachments, relationships as you were trying to heal. And that your thought process around understanding your emotions is the thing that will set you free going forward. That when you become confused around, I'm having this feeling, I'm not sure why, take good care of yourself. I always tell people, drink a nice big glass of water, have a snack, move around a little bit, listen to some happy music, and revisit it when you're calm. Give yourself the space, the time, and the caretaking of self to calm down and ask yourself what's really going on here, and then you will be able to carry on afterwards, having released the emotion. And this is a really hard one for people who learned that it was not safe to express emotion around volatile people, which abuse survivors almost always learn to repress their feelings. And then they get so repressed that we have trouble understanding them for ourselves. Is that you have to, when you have a feeling, allow yourself to feel it. And the intellectual capacity for compassion for where that came from, for why it might be big, is the thing that helps with it. Now, there's already been a little bit of a theme on the ones that I'm filming today, because I do film these in batches. And it really does have to do with, listen, you've set yourself free from attachments, but they'll try and come back to you, because there's a spiritual component to absolutely everything we do in this land. Is, remember, these are eternal forces. They're eternally going to be trying to get you, but that you have the power in your understanding of self and others to prevent them. You don't always have to do, magic prayers or salt bowls or clearing. Now, I usually have to, because I do this for a living and people are bringing me big stuff sometimes. And that might not ever change. But for everybody else, do your protocols around releasing attachments and managing your emotions to get the best outcomes. And know that going forward, what frees you is an understanding that is very much based in your intellectual capacity. Understanding our own feelings is key to getting the best from them, getting the best life experience as well. This is coming out with Mandrake Spirit. Keep yourself rooted in the earth. Spring is coming, and dream deep. So spring is coming. A new cycle is beginning in your life, by the way. If you've completed this journey that we're talking about, that has to do with understanding of self and others and being able to, it's not control your emotions, which suggests repression, but to be able to work with them. New things are beginning for you. Please do not forget to have grounding, balancing, attachment removal. Basically make it part of your routine. Like if you get up in the morning, you wash your face, you do your hair, blah, 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 just make it part of your routine. You can literally have a balancing meditation or an attachment removal or a cord cutter playing in the background as part of your routine. You can also use tuning forks to try and set your energy. So here we are for the Spirit Guide Daily. This is mostly about embracing the idea that you're not ever going to be healed and fixed exactly, because you're always going to still have your emotions. But that your process and your freedom from them controlling your outcomes rather than you getting the best outcomes that you can is to prevent attachment through a rigorous intellectual process of asking yourself what's going on here and how can I best take care of myself to get the best outcomes here. That was the Spirit Guide Daily for today. It is also warning you that you have these things coming up and it may simply be part of your existence. That if you're waiting for a ceasefire on all emotions, that part's not coming. But what is coming is more and more feeling of control within your life, because the only reason you ever felt like you weren't controlling it is you didn't have a strong understanding of self. And if you've been in my collective for a while, that's what you've been building. This has been the Spirit Guide Daily. You can find me at therisingmoon.com. That is the only way to book me. And I will never approach you in a comment section trying to sell you anything. If that happens, somebody has cloned me. It happens to almost every reader out here. And then my podcast is Logical Magic, Examining Esoterica. Check it out for all of the healing advice that I've been referring to here. It will help you with attachments. It will help you with emotional regulation. It will help you with toxic relationships. Take care. Be well.